So we finished the Y-comb project, but in order to give you a real good idea of what it was before and now what it is, we'll kind of take you back a little bit into the beginning pictures. As you can remember, it was a real dark kitchen. It had dark granite, dark cabinets, just kind of old, a little dated. So the first thing we had to do was to get rid of all the cabinets and pull out all the appliances. That's that's actually my business partner Steve there, kind of studying the dishwasher. He knows how to get rid of a dishwasher. He's not trying to figure out. He's probably just taking a break. Maybe I ought to be talking to him about that. So pulled out all the uppers and got rid of the refrigerator. Started pulling these the cabinets all along that side wall. And also, you're going to see that this, go back a step, all this soffit area where the ceiling has been dropped down, we also got rid of all that, really raised it up, opened the room up a lot. One of the other things we had to do was because we had to get our cabinets set right down on the subfloor. Sometimes people will do all their flooring and then set cabinets on top of it. Majority of the time, people put the cabinets down first and then put their flooring up to it. I tell you, one of my spots that I am really a stickler about, though, is when you're doing a bathroom. Spend a little extra money on the flooring, do the whole flooring, then set your vanity on and finish up with everything. The reason behind that is it's pretty easy to change out a vanity, and you may want to do it before you decide to change your floor out. And so if you get a different size vanity, it's not a problem because it's sitting on top of the floor. So to do what we had to do is we had to go to the tile and take a grout saw, and there again, Steve, I knew he worked, and you go along in the grout lines with this little saw that actually has little pieces of diamonds on it, and it cuts that grout and chips all that grout out so that then we can get up underneath the tile and pop the old tiles off. Got new cabinets. There they are. Just night and day difference with the coloring, obviously. I tell you what, that looks a whole lot better than what it looked like before. And you'll see later on that these open spaces here are spots where we put in glass panels, real nice glass. The granite's going to go across the top. We'll show you that in a minute. Just came out so nice. All this cabinet here, these are all drawer pull-outs that the customer wanted. The blue tape right here is the granite guys put that on because they're going to take this big slab of granite and slide it in across the top of this cabinet. And by putting the tape across, that granite doesn't scratch the finish of the new cabinets. Now this was kind of neat. These two doors open up at one time, as you can see. So, and then this here is a pot rack and a pull-out for like a pantry unit. I'll show you some more of that in a minute. Basic Lazy Susan that we all have in our corner cabinets. Those are real popular. This again, a little pull-out just for putting cans and things like that in. That actually is sitting right to the other side of the stove, so I imagine she'll probably have cooking utensils and pots and pans and things. This is nice. It sits up above the refrigerator, so these racks, so you can stack your cookie sheets and stuff up there. This is the granite that the homeowner chose and getting delivered. He had to make some on-site modifications to it. He kind of makes his mark, runs a tape along there to cut against, and then uses a grinder to just shave off just a little bit of it. Again, showing the tape so that when the granite slides in over, it doesn't scratch the finish of the cabinets. There they are, just sliding that big old piece of rock up on top of the cabinet, and that's what it ended up looking like. This is where the sink will go, they set the granite on, trace it out, and then cut that plywood out, and the sink sets right down in it. There's a finished shot after the homeowners had a chance to move in and get comfortable in the new space. You'll see this here. This is actually what's called a pot filler that sits right above the stove. Nice when you want to have a big old pot of spaghetti or something and set it there. That arm swings out and has cold water coming out of it, and then when it's not in use, tucks right back up against the granite. We brought the granite up all the way up under the cabinets and under the microwave and wrapped it all the way around the kitchen, and there you go. Looks real good. One of the funny things was that this house, on the back side of this wall right here, was paneling that we had to take off because we had to cut that wall shorter. We looked everywhere to match this paneling. And then one day Steve's in the office and I'm telling him we can't find the exact match of that paneling, and it's going to look awful. He says, I know, and he says, and he looks at the wall and he says, you know what? That paneling looks just like this paneling. I said, all right, take my paneling. So we took a sheet off of our own wall in the office here and cut it and put it in for the client, you know. That's all right. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. That's the pot hanger that I was telling you about. Just real handy because it'll tuck back into the cabinet and you won't see it. Or the pull-out drawers. And there's the finished product with the granite comes up, little bar. Turned out real nice, and they are ecstatic.